What's going on, guys, and welcome back to a new video. For those of you that are new to the channel, my name is Joshua Dangle George, and in this video I'm going to give you some tips on how to create Facebook ads that convert like crazy.
No, I don't waste no time.
So guys, welcome back to the video, and as you can see, the layout is slightly different this time because I was actually in work mode. I've just finished a conversation with a client, or a meeting with a client I should say, and we were discussing different types of ad copy and ad variables that basically influence getting results or not. And while I was on the call, on the meeting, I thought, what, this is actually a great topic for a YouTube video. So at the end of the meeting, I basically put up my ring light, set up the camera, and I thought, what, let me just leave the layout as it is. Let me not just spend too much time on setting everything up, and just focus on the message which I'm wanting to give you guys, and that is, like I said, regarding Facebook ads. And one very important thing that I want to mention right off the bat, and what I mentioned to my client as well, is that the best ad is a good product. And what I mean by that is we can run the best ads in the world, the best performing ads with the best copy. We split test everything, we target the right audience, we use Facebook CBO, dynamic creative, etc. But if on the back end the advertisement is not leading to a good product, then it will still fail, it will not convert. So at the end of the day, it is very much based on the product that you're promoting. And we've noticed the same with our clients and with clients that we've worked with in the past. We would set up basically our strategy. So for those of you that don't know, we focus a lot on e-com stores. We get a lot of good results for e-com stores and e-com clients. So that is sort of our main niche that we focus on. And we'll set up, our whole system and funnel where we drive traffic to the website, we retarget people that show interest, etc. We will set our sort of methodology, etc. We'll set that all up for our clients, and we'll get great results for our clients. But then we'll set it up for a different client with a different product. We'll set up the exact same funnel, the exact same methodology, the exact same strategy, and we won't get the same results. And that will then basically draw down to the fact that either their website just doesn't convert. We've noticed that, for example, we work with a lot of Shopify stores, which we get great results for. But then if we work with, for example, a WordPress store, or one of the clients that we actually turned away a few weeks back had a store that was completely built out of HTML, so it did not use Shopify or anything like that, and it just didn't convert. It didn't have the same loading speed as Shopify did. It didn't have the same like little features, etc., that Shopify does, and the catalog didn't seamlessly integrate with Facebook, etc. And stuff like that will basically make or break the functionality and the performance of the store as a whole. So if the store, or in this case the product, isn't actually a product that works, or the store just doesn't convert, then, like I said, there's no point in running ads to it, because you're just wasting your money. So that is my main tip, before we actually get into this video, is to make sure that the product that you're trying to promote is actually of a decent enough quality, and that there is a market of buyers for it. So with that said, on the whole, Facebook ads do work, which is another very big misconception. Like I said, I've been on my fair share of sales calls, and we've always had the objection, or we've gotten the objection a lot in the past, that is, Facebook ads don't work. We've tried it in the past, but it didn't work for us. And guys, Facebook ads do work, okay? It's proven it works, but you just need to do it right. If you're boosting a post, or if you're setting up a campaign with the objective to get a certain amount of reach, then because you're not optimizing for conversion, then obviously you're not going to get the conversion, because that is not what you've told Facebook to do, okay? Which is also my second tip. Always optimize for what you want the campaign to do, and which more often than not will be to get sales or leads. For ecom, obviously sales. So then always optimize for conversions, and then always optimize for purchase if that is what you want. And yes, there are loads of questions about, okay, but what happens if we haven't got any pixel data for the purchase? Should I optimize for add to cart, etc.? The way Facebook is going now, and the way the algorithm is going, and the way Facebook's AI is learning, we can just optimize for purchase with a conversion campaign right off the bat, okay? You do not need to optimize review content first and build your way up. We don't need the pixel to gather data or anything like that. All that was basically the way it was 2 years ago, okay? The way it is now, so 2020, or Q4 2020, at the time of recording this, we can optimize for pages right off the bat. And then another thing I want to mention, I don't know what tip we're up to, is this tip number 3? I think it is. Tip number 3 is that people do not buy a product, they buy either an emotion, a transformation, or an experience, okay? And you just need to think, for example, the iPhone 12, which has recently come out. Are people really buying the iPhone 12 because they want to make phone calls? No, they want it for the emotion, the status that it brings of having the latest iPhone, or the transformation, the fact that with this new iPhone, they're able to access new features. They have the best camera. That I think at the moment it is the best camera for smartphones. If I'm not, leave a comment. If I'm mistaken, leave a comment down below. But like I said, the transformation, the emotion that is attached to it, or the experience of having the latest iPhone, for example, that is why people buy it. They do not buy it for the features and the product and the benefits. They buy it for the status. So, for example, if you want, for example, it's basically almost winter now, especially in the Netherlands, it is getting colder, and then you need to buy a winter coat. What do you do? Do you go for a regular Zara or an H&M coat, or do you buy a Moncler or a Canada Goose coat? Still, it basically does the same thing. It warms you up during the winter, but the status that you get from having that Canada Goose coat, from having that Moncler coat, is obviously much higher than if you're just walking around in a Zara jacket or a Zara coat. And more often than not, these are basically made in the same factory, in the same country, but one has a logo and one doesn't. So you need to basically take that into consideration when you're writing the copy for your ads as well, and when you're making the advertisements as well, because these things are very, very important. What emotion does the ad evoke? What emotion or transformation does the product or service give to the customers? With that said, the variables that you need to play around with on the ad side of things are obviously the copy. So, what text are you going to give your advertisements to get people onto the next step of the flow, which is basically to get them onto the website. The creative, which is the image. So what image can you get or basically, add to the advertisement to get people to stop scrolling? Because people are not going onto Facebook to buy anything, okay? They're not going to think to themselves, oh, you know what, I've got a few hours to spare. Let me scroll on Facebook and look at advertisements. So what you need to do is create advertisements that draw attention, that stops people scrolling. I read an article the other day about someone that uses the color yellow in their advertisements creatives because it's a color that you do not see on Facebook often. Facebook obviously, is different shades of blue and white and gray, or if you got it in dark mode, it's, charcoal. But the color yellow is not something that you see on Facebook often. So what this marketer did, he actually used a lot of yellow in his advertisements, in his creatives, and he noticed that his outbound CTR actually increased. So like I said, variables to keep into, basically take into consideration are the copy and the image. And then lastly, or thirdly, I should say, is also the audience. Again, you can have the best advertisements in the world, the best headline in the world, but if you're targeting people that are generally not interested in what you have to offer, then again, it will fail. Then a few little tips from me when it comes to advertising for e-com stores. At the top of the funnel, so cold traffic that you're driving to the website, what I like to do is just have an image and something that is very snappy and to the point, that draws attention and gets people to click on the advertisement. The order in which people see advertisements or consume advertisements are image first, headline second, and then you've basically got the smaller headline, which I think is called the description, third, and then lastly, fourth, the button, so the learn more or the shop now button, basically. So with that in mind, what we need to do is we have the image that stops people from scrolling, captures the attention. The headline is basically, what gets people to click on the advertisement. The description should be something that basically complements the headline, basically mentions some kind of discount, urgency, scarcity, which I'll get into in just a second. And then obviously the button should be either learn more or shop now, based on what it is that you're trying to achieve. So for the top of funnel, I like to keep it short and concise, just to get people on the website as soon as possible. Then for the middle of funnel, so people that are lukewarm, we retarget website visitors, we retarget people that have engaged on Facebook, we retarget people that have engaged on Instagram, we retarget people that are on the email list, for example. We show testimonials. Testimonials and social proof are great ways of increasing the conversion rate on advertisements, because social proof speaks for itself, right? If something is recommended by others, then we automatically believe it to be more true or better than it actually is. So social proof, especially if these people have already heard of the store, can get people from just basically browsing to people actually being committed to making a purchase, or doing whatever it is that you want them to do on the store. So top of funnel, snappy, short, concise. Middle of funnel, testimonials, social proof, to basically get people that have already been on the site, have already experienced what it looks like, to come back and make a purchase or a conversion. Then for the bottom of the funnel, which is basically people that we've retargeted, that have shown interest either by adding to cart, maybe already doing the initiate checkout process, we retarget one last time with scarcity and urgency. So we mentioned that there's only a few products left, that it's only while stocks last, a discount code for the first so many people, and then of course urgency is, like I said, make sure that you do this because this discount code is only valid for 24 hours or 72 hours. So make sure that people feel like, okay, this offer is not on the table forever. Urgency and scarcity. And then last but most certainly not least is the age-old question, should you add a link in the headline? So what you'll often see with e-com stores is that, yes, the destination URL of the advertisement will direct them to the website, but they will also add the link in the copy of the text as well. Should you do this, yes or no? And in my opinion, it depends on basically the store. If it's a high ticket store with something that not everyone that is on Facebook will be qualified enough to make the purchase, then I would leave it out. If you want to lower the barrier to entry for people to get onto the store, and that because it's an impulse purchase, because it's something that the average Joe can purchase or the average Joe will purchase, then yes, by all means add the link, test it, always test, A/B test these things to see what works and what doesn't. But for the lower ticket items, I will add a link in the description. And then for the higher ticket items, the items that only more qualified individuals can purchase or will purchase, then I leave that out and only have the destination URL as basically the call to action button to get those people onto the website. So I hope this makes sense. Hope you guys found value out of this. If you did, please leave a comment down below. I put up a poll on Facebook the other day asking you guys, what do you want to see from this channel? What is the direction that you guys want this channel to go to? I've been doing a lot of social media marketing related videos, especially with regards to outreach. But there's so much more to online entrepreneurship, right? There's mindset, there's productivity, there's personal branding, there's even the lifestyle aspect of it. Do you guys find it interesting of me doing vlogs, a day in the life, etc.? Personally, I find it quite boring to watch day in the life videos, especially of those, because obviously there's a lot of people out there that try and make it more extravagant than there is. But my day to day, in my opinion, is pretty boring. It's me just sitting at this desk, having meetings and setting up ads. But for you guys, that might be really interesting. I know that my vlogs do perform relatively well when I look at the view counts and the like rate, etc. But what is it that you guys want to see from this channel? The poll on Facebook mentioned that Facebook ads and media buying is something that is in high demand and you guys would like to see more of as well. Is that opinion the same for my YouTube viewers? Let me know in the comments down below what you'd like to see from this channel next. Subscribe to the channel if you have not done so already, and I'll see you guys in the next video.